Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting, I think. Any electrical skateboard obviously needs motors. And today we're going to cover new motors from Flipsky. There's a wide range of opinions on Flipsky product in electrical skateboard community. However, everyone kind of agrees that motors are actually quite good. I was sent a few motors to review and test, and today is video number 1, unboxing and close review. Today's video is 63100 Flipsky 2021. So what are the differences in this particular motor? These motors are quite new on the market, and if you order them right now, you probably get them sometimes in the beginning of July. They do come in different kV ranges as well. You can get 140, 170 and 190 kV. What I do have is 140 and 170 kV on the table right here. So what are the characteristics of these motors? So they are 63100, so 63 diameter and 100 millimeters long. They are 5000 to 5500 watts each, depending on the kV you go for. These motors are rated from 2 to 12S. However, if you go for 140 kV, they can be pushed all the way up to 14S. The maximum amperage that you can run these motors at is 100 amp. Company does recommend to use ECs that are based on VESC 6 or go for the original Tramper VESCs, VESC 6. This recommendation, you want to follow or not, is completely up to you. Another good part is that you can order these motors with different shaft sizes. You can get it in 10mm and 8mm, all depends obviously on your setup and your needs. Flipsky have advised me that they have considered all the comments from the consumers and people like us who love building and riding electrical skateboards, and everything was incorporated into these brand new 2021 motors. Like for instance, battle hardening. If you guys don't know, battle hardening is pretty much putting some resin or epoxy around the magnets, keeping them in place even at high vibrations or impact. As simple as that. However, the best of being done at the factory where you can actually get the can balanced out so it doesn't shake about. Better bearings, better quality of the shaft, better sensors, better cables. Well, according to them, everything is much better. However, why not to take one of these apart together and to take a look inside to verify if they are actually battle hardened and how do they look inside. You ready to take a look? Then come closer. So let's start with taking a look what's inside the box. So nice and standard box, nothing too special, which is fine. That's going to go in the bin anyway. Inside the box, you got your new 63100 motor, and also, very surprisingly so, you do get some connectors, and I'll explain to you why is it good. So after removing all the protection, you reveal yourself the brand new Flipsky motor. This one had some custom engraving done. So as for the quality, I am really happy with the quality of the phase cables. They are 12 gauge, really flexible, which is quite nice. A lot of manufacturers using not such a good quality cables, and it's quite hard to fit them inside your enclosure because they do not bend as good. You got 4mm bullet connectors, and what I mentioned before, it's very nice of Flipsky to actually add on the female connectors in a packet. Other manufacturers will just send you motor as it is, and then you have to order the connectors separately, which sometimes, if you are in a rush to finish your board, is a bit of a pain in your back pocket. I have also noticed that they have used the shrink wrap, that is, or shrink tube, that is dual walled with the glue, which is quite nice. It will not pull apart. Also, the protective sleeve over the phase cables is already installed for you. Normally, we do install it ourselves. All in total, The quality of the finish does look quite nice. There are no manufacturer scratches, which does happen quite a lot with different manufacturers, and also all in general looks nice and clean. On the motor shaft you do have the keyway slot, and the keyway is provided with the motor. You can also choose an option to order the motor pulley with the motor itself. And I know you're going to ask, how long is the actual motor shaft? So the motor shaft on this 63100 motor is 30 millimeters. And now it's time to pull the motor apart, take the can off, and to look inside. Is it really as nice inside as it is outside? Let's take a look. Guys, be really careful when you take motors like this apart. The magnets on them are absolutely monstrously strong. That will damage your hands. You cannot just pull it apart like that. And this is what I mean by being very careful. So if your finger gets stuck in there, hey, no, you're not going to like it. So let's pull them apart. Oh. Whew. That's not an easy task. So guys, now let's take a look at the motor. I'll be up close, guys. I wanted to mention as well that the sensor cables are done up quite nicely. There's a soft silicone protector over it with a shrink tube and the actual connector for your VESC, which is quite nice. The cable length is increased. It's now 320 millimeters, enough to reach from your trucks back into the C-box, which is quite good. So let's look inside. You have your Hall sensors nicely parked right on the motors right there. The windings do look quite good quality. However, I do not see any epoxy on them whatsoever. The strands are still moving around. Closer, where the cables are for the Hall sensors and temperature sensors, you can clearly see a much more and thicker layer, which is fine, that's good. However, what I've noticed that some of the strands actually do move about. So each strand is lacquered, however, not all the windings are actually covered up in lacquer. Can say that this motor is 100% battle hardened. All the sensors are still exposed. I guess what they do mean by battle hardening is actual can itself. However, battle hardening of actual starter is not necessary because this motor is actually a sealed motor, so nothing will ever get to the sensor part. Now let's look inside the can. As you can see, there is epoxy all the way around the magnet, keeping them together, keeping it down. So they are battle hardened. You can also notice the blue balancing epoxy. So these cans were balanced on the machine at the factory after battle hardening was done. That is good. I like it. That's it pretty much for the can itself and for the motor inside. Let's just show you how it does actually look, so you have some sort of understanding. The entrance of the cables into the motor itself is done quite neatly with the shrink tube. However, I would ask Flipsky to seal the spaces around the openings just a little bit better. It's done, but not at 100%. The bearings, one at the front and one at the back, are installed. One that's going to be touching your trucks or the motor mounts is much larger bearing. I cannot say what bearings these are. There are no markings on them. However, they do look clean and do move quite freely. The magnets being used in this motor are the double-sided arc-shaped magnets. One other thing to mention, that the epoxy being used inside the can withstand temperatures up to 115 degrees Celsius. And just to give you a bit more idea on the size, 63-100, 63-74 side by side. Just notice another little feature that I quite like, I forgot to mention. So now, underneath the split ring that goes on the motor shaft to fix the can into the motor itself, there is now a wavy little spring. This is to stop that rattle of the split ring. You guys probably know this sound from previous motors, and yeah, that looks like it's sorted now, which is quite good because that rattle becomes quite annoying sometimes. This is pretty much it. So far, beautiful motor. In next video, let's put it on my board and give it some abuse. And that would be it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up. But if there's anything you would like to mention or say, leave me a comment in the comments below. I will always reply. As always, build safely, ride safely, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye. I think I need to just change the scenery a little bit. I'll put a few more in front of me. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do again?
No, what I'll do is I'll finish the video.
Oh yeah, do the outro. Yeah.
And then you can come in, and then this way we don't have to do the blah blah blah.
I can also lend you some decent quality Allen keys that you can use on this.
There's no Allen key required, unfortunately. It's quite simple taking apart. There's one problem though, I'll explain.
If you want, we can do a shot with you sort of bare chested pulling one of those things apart. I get some baby oil
or
or something.
like the Putin on the back of the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've not got any baby oil, but I've got some lard, so you can just smear yourself in lard as you can pull the motor apart.
Okay, how well can we see all this? Quite well?
Yeah.
Information about this motor. The motor... What's wrong with me? Fuck's sake, I can't even speak. Because I'm trying to read, that's why. Now, just a bit more information about the motors. The magnets that are being used here are double-sided arc-shaped magnets. The convex magnets array can be and that's in Chinese, and you cannot make any sense of what they're saying here. That's fucking bullshit. Double-sided arc-shaped. Fuck it. That's what I'm going to say. Now, final now. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to look at some really cool ass motors. How does that sound? I think this would be it.